Have you ever had that feeling, you're talking, you're making perfect sense, but it's like nobody's actually listening? Your best advice, your most brilliant ideas, they just seem to vanish into thin air. It's an incredibly common frustration. But what if I told you the secret to being heard isn't about being louder or more logical? What if it's about understanding a hidden network of people that shapes everything? Today, we're going to unlock the real keys to influence and making your voice finally, truly count. So here's our roadmap. We're going to start by digging into that frustrating feeling of being ignored, what we're calling the listening dilemma. Then we'll get into the good stuff, the 2 surprising keys that unlock influence. After that, we'll zoom out and map an entire ecosystem of support you need. And we'll introduce a really powerful figure called the true teacher before revealing your 9 hidden allies for success. All right, let's kick things off with a problem that I think we can all relate to. A problem that really sits at the heart of almost all our relationships. This question. It's the silent thought behind so many arguments, isn't it? As a parent, you're trying to guide your kid. As a team lead, you need everyone pulling in the same direction. In a relationship, you just want to feel understood. But sometimes, it's like talking to a brick wall. So, what is actually going on here? We think if we just make a better argument, if we line up all our facts, that people will have to listen. But the source material we're diving in today says that's just not how it works. It all comes down to 2 deeper, almost invisible psychological needs. And until you satisfy these 2 needs, nothing else you say is even going to register. So what are these mysterious keys? Let's unlock them right now, because I promise, once you grasp this framework, you will never see communication the same way again. Okay, here they are, and they are deceptively simple but incredibly powerful. The first key is aspiration. The person has to look at you or your life or your skill and see something they genuinely want for themselves. The second key is perceptible love. And that word perceptible is everything. It's not about how much you think you love them. It's about them feeling deep in their bones that you care about them and their success. This analogy just nails that first point, doesn't it? If you're standing by the pool and you can't swim, you don't argue with the instructor's technique. Why? Because they can glide effortlessly through the water. They already have the result you're dreaming of. When someone embodies the outcome you desire, you just naturally open up and listen. And this gets right to the heart of that tricky second key, that perceptible love. It shows the massive gap that can exist. On one side, you have your story. I provide, I sacrifice, I do all these things for them. But for influence, that's just your side of the story. The only thing that actually matters is what's happening on the other side. Do they feel it? Is it landing in a way they can actually perceive? And this is where so much conflict comes from. It's fascinating. If both people in a relationship secretly believe they're the one who loves more, then they both expect the other person to be the one to listen. It creates this invisible power struggle, a total stalemate where everyone's talking and absolutely no one is hearing. Okay, so we've kind of cracked the code on that one-on-one influence, but our lives and our growth, they don't happen in a bubble, right? It's time to zoom out a bit and look at the whole network of people we need to build a truly successful life. We have this really romantic idea of finding that one perfect mentor, the Yoda to our Luke Skywalker, who will just change everything for us. But the truth is, our success is more like a movie with a great ensemble cast. It's built by a whole team of characters, each playing a very specific and crucial role. And the first step is just learning to recognize who they are. So first up, you've got the wise mentor. Now, this is not just some advisor you call for tips. This is someone whose own vision, whose own dream for their life is so massive that your own personal dream can comfortably fit and grow right inside of it. They don't just hand you a map. They're on the journey with you. Then you have the expert. And their superpower is different. Their gift is making the complicated simple. They can look at a huge, tangled mess of a problem and just hand you the one mental model, the one framework that cuts right through all that noise. They give you clarity when you're stuck. But that network is so much bigger. You also need a guide, that person who gives you one concept that just changes everything. You need a benefactor who helps you out just because, a connector who opens up doors to new people, a supporter who gives you the resources you need, and so importantly, a doer who helps you actually get the work done. Every single one of these roles is vital. Okay, so within this whole network of allies, there is one archetype that stands out for its unique power to create lasting change. And the source material calls this person the true teacher. So the foundation of a true teacher is this: they can actually walk the walk. They can do the thing they talk about. They are a producer. They can generate the result themselves, whether that's building a company, writing a novel, or mastering an instrument. They have proof in their own actions. But just being good at something isn't enough. The true teacher is also a marketer. They know how to take that skill, that result, and package it in a way that other people can understand and get excited about. They know how to spread the idea. And finally, this is the most critical piece of the puzzle. They are an educator. They can break down their own mastery into a system, into a process that lets other people learn and get the same result for themselves. This is the ultimate act of empowerment. So you see, it's that powerful combination. They can do it, they can spread it, and they can teach it. A true teacher is a force multiplier. They don't just achieve success for themselves, they create a ripple effect, a legacy of success that flows through everyone they empower. That is the ultimate form of influence. All right, let's bring it all home now. We've talked about influence, we've talked about different support roles. It's time to put the whole cast of characters on stage and really embrace the one mindset shift that unlocks everything. And this, right here, is the biggest takeaway. Real growth, real success, it all starts the moment you let go of the myth of the self-made person. It's about recognizing with real humility that every single one of your achievements is a team sport. Your success was brought to you by others. So here it is, the full roster of your 9 hidden allies. We've met most of them already, but you'll see a couple of others here too, like the formal teacher who gives you principles, and the spiritual guide who helps you find deeper meaning. As you look at this list, I want you to start putting names in those boxes. Who are these people in your life right now? Just the act of identifying them is a huge step. Because this isn't just some intellectual exercise to make a list, it's a practice. When you consciously identify and, importantly, honor this network, you stop seeing yourself as this lone hero fighting against the world. You start seeing yourself as the center of an incredible ecosystem of support. And that gratitude, that humility, that creates the foundation for everything that comes next. So I want to leave you with this challenge. Take a little time today or this week and map out your own personal network of 9. Who are they? Which of these roles are filled, and maybe which ones are still empty? And the most important part is this: how can you actively honor them for what they bring to your life? Because when you figure that out, you found the real secret.